Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I am broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, and there are a couple ways you can help me, help them, help the animals. 1. Donate to our fundraiser here on Twitch. The wonderful Wolf Axe 2 has already donated $15, which exceeded our goal, but we can always go further. So please donate if you can, but if you can't, no worries. Just watch my stream and bring your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count here on Twitch. You can also find out more about Rowdy Girl Sanctuary and donate directly to them through their website. It's rowdygirlsanctuary.org. I put a link in the chat. There's a link in my Twitch description, and there will be a link on the YouTube recording of this stream later. It is Wednesday, which means it's time to work on my illustration project. I have been working on these lines for quite a while now, and we are so close to done. It's just this last little, maybe a quarter, maybe a little bit more, but we are almost done. I truly believe this time, this stream, we will finish cleaning up these lines. There's still plenty more work to do after that, but this step has been taking way longer than I expected, so I am really excited to get it done this time during this stream. So let me just reorganize my physical workspace, get my tablet down here into my lap, and zoom in to the section that we are working on. So let's see, we did all these, we did this flower, we did over here, that's all good. Alright, we got this bee done, but we need to do these couple flowers, this bud, this tiny bee here, this big giant bee here, then this bee and this. So it's actually not that much. Not that much. Let's focus on the big bee first. Go into 100%. And what I'm working with is my eraser, and I'm just trying to erase all these, so you can see these really obvious ones just out in the middle of nowhere. What I have is a stroke effect on the lines, and that helps show. So you couldn't really see these here, don't really show up, but then I put that stroke on there and you can really see them. And then I'm also cleaning up the edges of the lines in a similar way by looking at the pink stroke, which reveals where things are uneven or there's little mystery extra bonus hidden pixels that you don't want, that I don't want anyway. So I'm just going through and picking those out, smoothing them away. And there's also little areas like this. I'll do more of this kind of work later, but sometimes when it's super obvious, I may as well take care of it now. Right there where I smooth out a line just because I had drawn it a little too far and it went past where I wanted it. And with the fuzzy bees where I used a brush pen, sometimes it's really hard to decide what to keep because I purposefully wanted that brush pen texture, so some of these bonus bits are from that texture. So I've got to pick. I have to make a decision with each one. Is it something I keep? Is it part of the overall effect? Or do I clean it up? Okay, clear it out. And there's no right answer. That's what makes it really hard. You have to decide, and no one can really help you. The nice thing is, though, that these little dots next to lines that I'm keeping, it doesn't really matter that much whether I clean them up or leave them, whether it was on purpose or that I just missed it, because it's not going to be very noticeable by the end either way. So that takes a little pressure off. Moving up on the bee. Right before this, I was working on the next entry in my Japan Adventure blog post series. It's just little brief photo logs, select photos, and captions from my 3-week adventure in Japan in 2023. And the thing I looked up, because I'm not just posting the pictures, I want to share what the thing was, even if I didn't know the name of it at the time. I figure out the name for the blog post. One of those items was today. I found out the name of this yummy, it's kind of like mochi, pounded rice, and it's on a stick, and it's a specialty of the Akita area, and it was an accidentally vegan item because it's just pounded rice, sort of roasted or barbecued, and then it was slathered in white miso, and it was so yummy. And I found out what it's called. It's called kiri tampo, and now I'm really hungry because it was so good. I could have eaten, I didn't know, exactly what it would be like, didn't know how big it would be or anything. I could have eaten like 5 of those sticks of grilled rice, like mochi style sticky rice on a stick with miso all over it. I love miso so much. So I'm really thinking about that right now. Thinking about the delicious miso mochi on a stick. It's called kiri tampo. There's a short which I linked. I added a link in the. I didn't post the blog post yet. Hopefully this week. That's my goal for this week, is to get that posted. But I included a link to the English Wikipedia about it. It's of course very, very brief, but you can learn more about it on Wikipedia. Kiri tampo. You can just slather miso on pretty much anything and it'll be delicious. I bet you could do miso apples. I bet people have done it. Wait, nope. It's not nope. It's not a good idea because it has been done. I said nope because I thought I was coming up with an original idea. No, it's not original. The reason why is that when we were in Aomori, which I believe was the next stop on our trip, there was apple miso, and we ate it, and it was delicious. I got a little thing of apple miso at the grocery store that was... what was it? It was a grocery store, like, at the cruise terminal, or really nearby. Apple miso. Yummy. So yeah, I guess it proves my point though. You can put miso on anything. You could put miso in like a dessert cake and just have a little savory kick in there. I bet that would be good. It'd still be sweet, but maybe in the cake part you had a little miso savory. I wonder how I could do a chibi miso for my chibi foods that I've created here on Twitch, and I use as emoji on Discord. But next, I'm going to be making a little red hot chili pepper. Not the band. I'm going to make a chili pepper, a red one. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the next favorite food that I'm going to be making. These dots that are out in the middle of nowhere are the best ones because they're really easy to erase. No thinking required. Definitely want to get rid of them. I think I might have gotten everything. Oh no, here's a little cluster I missed. It is really tough sometimes because there's no straight A to Z kind of way to look at the drawing, so it's really easy to miss a spot because your eye gets drawn here and it gets drawn there and it ends up skipping this area. But like I said earlier, it's not that big of a deal even if I do miss it, because there's so much going on here visually, and once the color is in and everything, it won't even be noticeable. Okay, I think this bee is done. I'm going to zoom out and make sure I didn't miss any little dots around it. Doesn't look like it. So let's zoom in back to 100. We already did that bee, so let's tackle the flower that's next to kind of being covered up by the big bee. Here it comes. Fans are starting to ramp up on my PC tower, desktop tower. It's a bit cooler today, although it said it was going to get warm. At least it's cooler in the house than seems like it should be for how warm it was yesterday. Oops. No, I don't want to erase that much. I erased a little too much. Couldn't see under my hand. I'm left-handed, so right now I'm pulling the mouse or the cursor toward my hand, which means I can't actually see exactly where it's going. I'm pulling it toward my hand, which blocks my view. If I can get this done today, hopefully I'll have a little bit of time at the end of the stream to show you how I will turn it into Patreon rewards. So I delayed March's rewards so that I could send these lines as March's rewards. March's physical rewards. We have digital rewards as well. Private Discord access and printable coloring pages, the emoji on Discord, etc. But for the physical rewards, postcards and prints, no one signed up for prints yet, so you could be the first. I will be printing these lines. And my idea is, as I complete various stages of this piece, my patrons will receive works in progress and be able to have, here's step 1, here's step 2. So for instance, they'll have these lines, then they'll have the flat color versions of these, and they'll have the shaded color version, and then they'll have the final version with all of the onomatopoeia filling the space. Since that's the whole point of this series, is to be a beautiful way to teach animal onomatopoeia in English and Japanese. So there's going to be buzz buzz and boom boom flying around this scene all over the place by the end. But that's pretty much the last thing I do. Let's make this a lot bigger, quickly tackle all this stuff. Okay, back down. Oh, that's a little bit too big. Be able to erase in between these very small, close lines. Oops, I erased a little bit more than I wanted. Wolf is here. Hello, Wolf! You can't wait to time out Sarah today. Well, she's not here yet, so you can practice. That was still an amazing thing that happened. It was so weird. But we're all learning. We're all figuring it out together. How are you, Wolf? Thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad you could make it. Hope you've been doing well. Having a good week so far? I think you were here before when I was still working on this last week, so I am just continuing to clean up these lines. I am almost done. So close. So close to done with the cleanup. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Hope you've been having a great day at work and that everything goes smoothly and that you have a great time after work relaxing or whatever you plan to do if you don't plan to relax. I hope things go as you want. If you're going straight to a party or something straight after work, I hope it goes well. Tackling all these little tiny in the middle of nowhere dots. Okay, there is hardly anything left. So exciting! Just have this one bee, this medium-sized bee, and the flower next to it. And then we'll get this line around the edge. No. I want to erase a little bit of the line here, but not that much. Oh, it's too much. A little bit there too. Yay! Smaller bees are so much easier to clean up because there's less dry brush effect on them. Oh, really big, obvious cluster right there. I didn't notice until just then. Alright, medium, smallish bee. Are you done? Now you gotta keep a couple little ones still there. That looks pretty good though. Alright. Last element. This flower. Oops. Stuff is so thin on the flowers, it's hard sometimes to not erase too much. Ah, I did it again! Okay, just working my way in. Oh, I don't want to... I need a really tiny brush right here. There. Right, back to double the size. getting a little bit breezy outside. Clouds are coming in. It was basically perfectly sunny all morning, but the past hour or two, lovely clouds have been covering the sun every once in a while, my favorite. But the sun's coming back out now. Oh, here go the fans for real. Earlier it was a little test run, but now they're really on fire. Oops. Shoo. It's hard to choose how to work my way around or through this flower. Do I work around the outside and then go smaller and smaller, sort of swirling in, or do I do up and down? I gotta pick one though, otherwise it won't be efficient either way and I'll just end up skipping stuff. I think going around is working nicer. Doing a spiral. Do the outermost parts first. Oops. Keep doing it. Keep erasing stuff I want to keep. It's tough. So it's so small. What I could do, and I don't want to, is zoom in even further. That would allow me to get more stuff without erasing things I want to keep. But I feel like even for me that's taking it too far. I don't want to be that precise about it. It's too much. It's not worth it. It's not worth the effort. 100% zoom is enough for this. I'll probably zoom in more later for other things, especially coloring and shading. But right now, this is good enough. Close enough. Big enough. Almost done with the outside. Okay, we'll start moving in. I already did most of that side though, so I'll already go down to the bottom. Moving in a layer. Kind of bumpy. Alright, you know what? Let's save. This time the fans feel like a warning. And if I don't save, I might regret it in a minute. It'll probably be fine though. I've not had my current desktop PC crash like that, but I've had previous desktop PCs crash. When the fans start ramping up, that's a sign that it's at the end of its rope. So it's a good reminder. Either way, it's always good. You never know, there might be power outage or something. Whoops. It's always good to save. Did I erase too much? No, I erased what I wanted. Sometimes I'm not erasing because I'm seeing pink around an area. I actually see some stray, super thin black line that I don't want. Like right here. Okay, moving farther in, moving into the flower core. Yay, I think I'm done with this step. With this step, we're not even halfway done with this piece as a whole, but it's good to celebrate the little wins. Okay, I'm lifting up my tablet. I'm going to move my keyboard and mouse back in front of me. What I want to do is, I think I'll make a whole nother file. So what is this? Yeah, this just seems to be the scan size. So now I'm going to make a new file. Let's see, custom. We want it to be in inches. We want 17 long and 11 tall. 17 by 11 we want. Why? Why does it change it back to pixels? Why does it keep doing that? Don't change it, please. 17 by 11. Okay. Goodness. And resolution, probably 300. I'll check the other files to be sure, but I think 300. RGB color, 8-bit. I think that's what I want. White. We do want to color manage. We want... Do I want Adobe RGB or do I want CMYK? For now, I'll do Adobe RGB. I need to check these against one of the existing pieces in this series. For now, I think that's good, so we'll create. And I'll go find, oops, not new. Go find one of the existing ones so that I can compare. Oh, the heck. Why is it in there? Okay. Career files, visual art. Let's see, it's under artwork and projects. Yes. This one. Open the bees. Hopefully it can manage it. It's like... Wait, open the bees. I'm so silly. That's the one we're working on! Oh, I must be tired. That's what I was like. Where's it? Where's the file? Why isn't it opening? Because it's already open. This is the one we're working on. Oh my goodness. Okay. This... The cows is the one we worked on last. The last one we finished. There. Goodness. Okay. So, what I wanted to see was the image size. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. This is 12.75 by 8.25. Oh, I made it native size and just made it 600. So maybe I'll do that. Okay. So let's change this to 12.75 and 600 resolution. Edit. No. Image size. So, no, not percent. Inches. 12.75. That ought to change it. Yes, it did. And then we want to bring this up to 600. So double the resolution and have the size, the inch, the width by height size. Whew. Let me see. Yep, that looks right because these are both at 33% and they're the same size. So that's good. The other things I need to look at are the... So I'm in RGB with 8 bits, so that's good because that's what I have here, I believe. Yep, RGB, 8 bits. Let's check the... Where is it? It's under edit, I think. Color settings. sRGB IEC. How do I see what this is set as? Says RGB. I want to see what the color profile is that's currently set to it. If I do convert. Okay, source is sRGB. Okay. sRGB. I like Adobe RGB. Maybe I actually can convert this. Then I'll have to do it for them all. Well, why not? Well, because it's a pain. Okay. I won't do it. But I figured out since then that what I prefer is Adobe RGB because it has a wider color availability. I don't know how to describe it. More colors are represented. But for now, we'll leave it as this. I won't go and edit every single other one that I've worked on. So that's everything I needed to see from here. So now let's save this. Save as Photoshop, but not the cows, the bees. And we'll put, first of all, today's date, 16. We'll put final. And it'll probably, well, no, but it might end up like my cats did. The first one I worked on, and it was like final 5. Keep making a new file that said final. But for now, this is the final. So save that. And what I want to do now is grab, let's see, I'm gonna, how do I want to do this? Okay, I'm going to turn off the effect because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to make a duplicate of this. Let me just delete this effect because that is just information taking up bits on my hard drive. It all adds up when you make as much work as I do. So now I've got this lines copy and I'm just going to erase. Or how do I want to do it? How do I want to do it? Maybe I do want those. Maybe I do want this stroke effect after all. Turn it back on. So I want to erase this, but I don't want to lose these lines that are going out of the frame because I might use those depending on how it fits in this final area. So now I'm readjusting my physical workspace so that I can manually erase this outside stuff. This is the remnants of the blue line that I had as the guideline to show me how big my piece should be and where I could stop drawing so that I wasn't wasting time drawing stuff that wouldn't be included anyway. Save. Save again. This is pretty fun. Erasing this line is pretty fun because it's easy. Line is there. Just follow the line. Not too much thought needed. Not too much decision making. Decision fatigue is a real thing. It's been scientifically studied. First time I ever heard of it, or at least that I remember hearing of it, was in a book about persuasion, which I was reading to try and get some ideas for my creative career. And it showed that some studies, or it explained that some studies had shown that the more decisions there are to make, the less likely someone is to even make a decision at all. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything for me right now, but it sort of reveals how tiring it can be, mentally tiring, to create something from scratch as I do. You come up with an idea and then have to make all the decisions about it from start to finish. Can be exhausting. It's fun. It doesn't take away from the fun, but it adds a lot of, it uses a lot of brain power. But right now, brain power usage is on low. The fans might be up a little higher on my PC, but the fans in my brain are hardly audible at all. I'm going to erase these dots along the outside just in case. I don't want to have gone to all this effort and then have something sneak in, you know? Just in case. Just in case. Just for my satisfaction. Make sure it's nice and clean. fact, I can get most of them really quickly and easily if I just go around like this. I'll do this first, then I'll come back and get the rest of the line. So eventually what I want to do is put a square marquee around this and then just copy it and paste it into the other file. That's my plan. Up we go, the other side. I'm gonna just get this real quick because there's nothing around it for me to worry about. Yay! Hopefully I remember these notes I put. Add flying wings digitally. Hope I don't forget that. It's gonna be a long time before I add that. That'll be one of the last things. Not sure if I'll do it before or after I add the onomatopoeia flying around in the air. Alright, back down here and back to a smaller brush. I like these little jolly star shapes that ended up in here for the flower. Now, look at this fellow, looks so happy. Whee! This is so much faster. It's so much faster than what I was doing for the past 3 days. 3 illustration streams, I mean. Gotta admit, I'm finally warming up in here too. I was quite cold at the beginning of the stream, so got my hoodie on. That said, I've got shorts on, so it's not that cold. Guess my core was getting cold. That's what I found in general. My legs stay warmer. My hands and feet are pretty much always cold. My trunk is susceptible to getting cold. Got my legs and my head. I love when I go to bed, have all the rest of my body all super warm, tucked into the blankets, but my head, ice cold. I don't want any warmth on my face or anything. So, yeah, I got warm and cool zones. Even my face is starting to get warm now. That's how I can tell it's warming up in here. Feet are cold, but that is standard. It's like in summer, I always feel like, yay, it's getting warm, so my feet and my hands won't be cold. Nope, the AC is now on, and I'm freezing again. One of my least favorite times to go into any business is summer. Any physical business place. Because it's always, the AC is cranked up and it's so cold and it's miserable. I want to get out of there as fast as possible, which can't be good for their business because I'm not standing around being tempted by their impulse purchases or whatever it is. I'm like, I gotta get out of here, it's so cold. And it's such a relief to step back out into the summer heat, into 90, 100 degrees or more. It's got to be a huge waste of money for the businesses, too, to be keeping it that cold. All right, 2 sides nearly done. I might finish this at perfect time to take a break and then start turning into Patreon rewards. Yay! I'll do what I can with that, but of course I won't be showing anything that might be anywhere near showing any addresses or anything. So it will just be how I turn one of my illustrations into a postcard. And anything else I need to do will be done off stream. So it probably won't take very long, which means I will come back to this and start putting down color. So that's exciting too. Putting down the flat color is always really fun. So it's low pressure. You can change it as much as you want later. You don't have to stick with the color you choose. You don't even have to stick with the place you decide to put it. You could change it or remove it so easily because it's digital. Of course, then you're faced with the difficulty of infinite possibilities. And when do you choose to say, all right, that's good enough? I had a hard time with the cows piece because of that. I just couldn't decide what colors to make the cows, and I kept changing it, and I showed it to some other illustrators and trusted people to get their opinion, and everybody had a different opinion, so I couldn't get any consensus that way. And even now, in my brain, when I think about the piece, I think of it as not being quite right. But whenever I actually sit down and look at it, I'm like, oh, why was I worried? It looks fine. It looks great, actually. So that is something that kind of sucks about digital art. It's a double-edged sword. Whee! Alright, let's make a bigger one. Whee! Get that big stripe. Ah, this is the only thing. This thing reminds me of Dr. Seuss. This spent flower head. Looks like those funny trees like in the Lorax and stuff. You think it's tacky to have a ceiling fan in every room, asks Wolf. I don't think it's tacky. I think it's quite convenient because then you can cool for relatively low energy the room you're in and not waste energy cooling the whole house or the whole business. I don't see why it would be tacky. That's kind of an interesting judgment because the only person I could think who would think it was tacky is someone who is seeing your house all the time, every room of your house. And that should probably only be you and whoever is living there with you. And again, I think it's quite convenient having a ceiling fan. If the room is not really, wouldn't do well with a ceiling fan in it because the room is relatively small or something and you don't want to bump your head or accidentally get your hair caught in the fan, that would be a different thing. But wonder what drove that judgment. It's interesting. The short answer is no. If you want to add a fan in every room, I say go for it. I think it's worth it. We've added one ceiling fan since we moved into this house, and 2 of the 3 bedrooms upstairs had ceiling fans already, and is a split level house, so there's technically 3 floors, and the top floor gets so hot in the summer. So it's been great having that extra ceiling fan. It's in the room that it's kind of like a little miscellaneous room, but it's where my pigeons live, and it's also where I do my reading and meditation and journaling and all kinds of stuff. Has a fold-out couch bed thing, so if we have someone staying, that's an option if they want to sleep there. So it's been great, I think, for anybody who's in that room, including me, including my pigeons, and including any guests we have staying in there. Yeah, man, I say go for it. To be honest, I feel that's a superficial judgment. Tacky is completely subjective. And so I don't think it's good to let someone's opinion sway you on something like that when it would make your life better. If you think it would make your life better, go get them fans. Been getting a little warm, not enough to where I want to turn the sea. Yeah. And ceiling fan is great because then you don't have cords. You don't have to worry about where you're going to store it in the off season, etc. Yep, I say go for it. I think it's great. And with that, it's great breaking time. Because it's exactly break time. Well, a few seconds. So let's take a break, and then we'll come back and move these lines onto that final file. I wanted to call it folder. That's not right. And move on from there. So I am gonna go stretch and refresh. I encourage everyone else to do the same. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. Looks like Wolf Axe is out of here. If you're still on the stream, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for joining me today in the awesome conversation. Chappie helped me stretch in the den next door, so I am ready to get back to work. So what I am going to do, actually, let's save. I don't remember if I saved. Also, I'm going to have a little sip of my water bottle. Okay. Now I've saved. I'm going to remove that stroke effect, and then I'm going to draw a rectangular marquee around the image, including all of the lines. Make sure I'm not cutting anything out. Okay, I don't think I am. Move it down a little bit. This area was looking a little iffy. So we're going to copy, Control C to copy, and then we're going to Control V to paste. And now we'll deselect. Let's see, do I need this one? I'm trying to see if I could just go ahead and delete this lines. No, because it has... Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this rectangle. I'm doing a little finalization on this file that I'm about to close. I think what I'm going to do is delete that, deselect, and then here it is back. And then I will Control E, which brings it together into the same layer again. That way I still have all of these notes and everything if I want to look at them. So I will save this file, close it, and we'll call this lines. And now I'm just going to finalize the placement of these lines. What I might end up doing is adding or removing some lines along the edges so that they look nice. But for now, that's the bottom edge there. Let's see, that's the bottom edge of the B. Okay. I think I like this placement. We'll save this file. And that means I am ready. Let's go to artwork, visual art. I'm ready to make the postcards. Yay, postcard files. So, are these are both up ways. I'm gonna open one from 2024. That's a sideways one so that it matches the orientation. And so we don't need the writing copies. In fact, we'll just delete these. No, wait, we won't. We're going to save this before we change anything else. Save as. We won't 2024, 2025. And we're going to save it as 03. And it'll be nyan, meow, meow, bees, lines. So this is the third postcard of the year. And it's the nyan, meow, bees, lines. So now I can delete these writing copies. We can just turn that off for now. And we can delete this layer and bring in this one. And as you can see, it's way too big, so we are going to reduce the size by a significant amount. Yeah, even 30% is still too big, but now these sort of grab handles are available for me, so I can resize it properly. This is a great ratio for the postcards too. I'm losing hardly anything. So this is 22.41%. If I do 22.4. If I just do 22%. Oh, that's too small. If I do 23%. It's too big. Yeah, I guess 22.4 was the magic number because it's lining up excellently with 3 out of 4 guidelines. So I'm going to hit enter to finalize that. Now we can adjust the placement here too because it's a slightly different space to fill. Very close though. I think that's good. Let's save this real quick. And so the front is done. The back we need to change, especially since I used the 2024, so we've got to make sure to update that. We're going to change the title of this. In fact, I need to look at a previous postcard to make sure that the title is consistent. 2024. Did I make one in 2024? I don't think I did actually. Oh, I didn't work on this project at all last year. Alright, where's the cows? Here we go. Mo Moo. I just called it Mo Moo. Okay. So probably need to rename this. Just want to take a peek here at the back. So this is the final one. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Makes me happy to see that. Okay, I just called it Mo Moo. So I will call this one. We'll type buzz first. Oops. Okay. The italicization is confusing here. Now, change to Japanese. And boom, boom. Let's see, mo, moo. Did I call them all mo, moo, like nyan, meow? I gotta open another one. Looking at one isn't enough. So let's see, 2022. I did a lot of these because this was the year that I graduated. This was my senior project, so look at them all. That's like a Wan Wolf. This was when I was still making them with Canva, so it's still, so it's slightly different. I have multiple versions because of the way Canva needed the file to be, but yeah, I just called them all single one instead of one because in Japanese it's usually doubled. It's usually 4 syllables, so one is only 2. That's 1 syllable, that's another. But it looks like I just did boom buzz. This, I need to change to this En Futo Gyosho font. So let's look at En. Oops, Nihongo de wa nakute. Futo Here we go. Oh, it's because it's Epson. Futogyosho. Regular. That's the only one. There. Because it looks kind of similar to this font that I like for the title on the postcard. So Boom Buzz. Boom Buzz. Oh, and this needs to be in katakana. Oh, how can I change it to katakana? Oh, no, that didn't work. Type it again. Boom. But we want katakana, not hiragana. Here we go. Boom. In Japanese, onomatopoeia is most regularly written in the katakana syllabary. So that's why I needed to change that. So let's save this real quick. Next, what else? Ah, I need to change this. Oh, but this one is ink. Boom Boom Buzz, and I guess I'll put Nihongo de kaiteiru. Oh, this doesn't have a Buzzles. What is this to become? MS. Oh, weird. I'm trying to put brackets, but it becomes an LS or an MS. Can I do this? Okay, I can at least do this. What if I do a space in it? Nope, it doesn't have brackets in this font. Ah, that's interesting. I'll put lines. Or should I just put whip 1? Also, should I say it's ink or should I say it's mixed media because I've used Photoshop to clean up? But the lines were created with ink. They were just cleaned with Photoshop. Ah, so many decisions. Decision fatigue. Okay, I think I'm just going to call it this. So let's come down here and change this to 2025. Shouldn't need to change any of my contact info here. So let's save real quick. So Boom Buzz lines, ink, good. Copyright 2025. Sweet. Okay. Now I'm going to close this. No, we don't need to save any changes. I'm also going to close this because I want to rename it. So we're going to open. Oh, we're so close. Because I called it lines anyway. Excuse me. I needed to yawn. So we're going to go Boom Buzz lines. Boom Buzz lines. Save that. And then we can open it too. So let's see. I think the back is done. The writing is so that I write a message and it gets printed on my pen pals cards because I just send them the postcard as is. For writers, they receive 3 blank postcards, and what I do is put one message and then duplicate the message, and then that way I can send that message of greeting and gratitude, but it's not printed on the postcards. So that's what that writing is about. But I think this is as far as I will go on stream because writing the message is not really something I want to stream. That's kind of boring. So, call this good. I think that looks really nice. Let's see what it would look like in a print preview. Yeah, look at it. It's so cool. Okay, well, we're done. Don't need to print yet. We'll just leave that open. Actually, let's save real quick. And come back here for the rest of the stream. Let's start adding color. Oh, it's so fun. Make a file. A folder. We'll call this color. Might change it around later. I have done in the past with these Sometimes I need to reorganize it. But for now, this will be good. And we'll, this one, ground. So what I wanted to do is just get a sort of greenish, brownish color. To be the ground. Then we can add more later if we seem like we need it, but there's going to be onomatopoeia flying all around, so we might not need that much detail. So for this layer, we're just going to fill it in. Next, I think we'll do flowers. There's actually quite a few different colors in the flowers. Put everything. Flowers, everything. What I'm going to do here is just color in everything, and then if we need a different color for a different section, I'll group it so that it will be easier to color it. And if that doesn't make sense now, don't worry, once I get to that point, it will make sense. This will just be all the same color. I think I'll just do a pinky white. So we had all kinds of different colors. We had white ones, we had pink ones, we had kind of purpley ones. So let's start with a color like this. And then of course there's areas like this where it's green, and there was yellow, I think, in some areas. I can't remember. For now, all we need to do is color the silhouettes, basically. Oh, I don't need this kind. I just need a regular, no, not soft though. We want hard, round pressure size. Yeah, this is one where I think I'll zoom into 200 because I really want to make sure I don't go over the lines, but also that I get up to the lines as well. So I want to color enough, but not too much. So I need to be able to see. Oh, I'm getting hungry. After the stream, I've got the second half of my smoothie waiting for me. It's a delicious blueberry banana smoothie. It's so good. It's one of my favorite combos. In fact, I'm doing that. I could use a big brush here. Just use a big brush. Fill her in. Coloring is very fun, but especially the flat color, but it does actually require a lot of decision making when it comes to edges. Areas like this where it just sort of opens awkwardly into the space, so I'm actually going to add another one of these fluffs. I'm going to add a fluff in here to deal with that. So it's not a mindless activity. It does require you to be paying attention, making decisions. Well, let's make the eraser smaller so I can erase stuff like this more easily. There. Squeaky chair. Maybe one day I'll try hard to fix it. For now, I tried to WD-40 the obvious areas and it didn't work, so I just have a squeaky chair. It's just how it is. Oh, I forgot. That's why my hand feels weird on the screen. I forgot to put my nice little tablet glove on. One of these little 2-finger gloves. They're so nice for working on a tablet because then your hand doesn't stick to it and prevent you from making the line that you want to make. Instead, your hand glides smoothly over the surface. I actually first got it when I was still finishing my degree. Probably. I can't remember for sure now, but probably because of working on this project. So the whole time, I don't know if I worked on digital artwork as much as I did for this project the whole time I was in school. So one like this, the tips of the line don't come together as smoothly as I might like, so bring it out way farther. And with digital art, I actually find it's quite nice to have areas where it's not an outline creating the shape, it's just the color on top of another color. So these little extra ones, even though they weren't planned, they weren't part of the plan from the beginning, I quite like getting to add them. I think they add a lot of interest to the piece visually. I actually want to clean this up a little bit. I don't know how I missed all of this dusty looking stuff. There, that's better. Okay, back to flowers everything. There's more here too. Having the lighter color underneath is really showing this off. Oh, you know what? I'm adding the color, but I forgot. I wanted to refine the lines some more, so maybe that's what I should do instead. Yeah, I think I shall. Let's turn this off. And I think the background being white is actually making it harder to see these little messy areas, so let's choose something a little easier on the eyes, like gray. We'll fill the background in with that. Oh. I chose the wrong thing. There. Okay. Yep. Time to refine the lines. So, in some cases I want to actually add. Other cases I want to erase. So let's just go through the whole image. This has been part of this project from the beginning. Refining the lines once they're digital. Well, maybe not from the very beginning, but once... Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Whoops, I gotta bring all that stuff back. Don't want to keep that. No! Okay, just gonna go back into the history. Anyway, it was a very early suggestion by my illustration professor, and it seemed good to me. So it's been part of the project ever since. So even here, when I was coloring and I decided that I would put just the color, now I have decided to add ink. Well, to add an outline. And that's what I'm always talking about. There's no right answer. Which is both liberating and a huge burden. Because you've got to make a decision at some point. feel like my chair is a little more squeaky than it usually is. Why are you so squeaky, chair? Ooh, that was a big one. So squeaky. So squeaky. Here's some more of that gray stuff. It's the remnants of the blue pencil sketch that didn't get cleaned. Didn't get caught by the various methods that I've used to try to catch it. Oh man, I'm feeling so hungry. Can't wait for my smoothie. Can't wait for my smoothie. And then dinner, I made a big pot of curry on Monday to last us through to tomorrow for dinners. And it is so yummy. Use the pre-made curry pastes from Thai and True, and it's just so easy and so delicious. You just have to choose your veggies, and if you choose all frozen pre-chopped veggies, it's even easier. You just put a little bit of oil in the pan and heat up the curry paste in it. I recommend doubling what it says on the jar. It says do 1 teaspoon per serving of curry. I do 2 teaspoons per serving. That's the strength flavor I like. And then once the paste is heated up, you just add your veggies. Depending on, you know, if they need a longer cook time, wait to add the other ones. But essentially you add the veggies. I like to mix them up into the curry paste and then add a can of coconut milk and cook it until it's done. So for instance, this week I made potato lentil curry. So the potatoes needed a lot of time to cook. So I just simmered it for like half an hour till the potatoes were done. And then boom, you've got curry for dinner. And if you want for days, you could put all kinds of stuff in there. You could put pineapple in there, or chickpeas, any kind of bean, or lentils. You can put in tofu, or seitan, or TVP, or soy curls, or whatever you want. You can put in anything. All kinds of veggies. You could add corn, pumpkin. I've made kabocha curry before, super good. Love that curry paste. This makes it so easy. So all the flavors are in there. You just gotta choose your ingredients. They also have tons of flavors too. We haven't even tried them all. And when I found them, because all their curry pastes are vegan, so no fish stuff or anything in them. No milk, no honey. And they had so many flavors that we're still working through our first order. Because we ordered one of each. And we're still working through them. So I just finished up the jar of Masamun curry paste, and now it's like pre-king or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it because I don't know Thai, but I don't know the Thai language, but it is really good. It's really spicy. I love spicy curry. I love Thai curry. Thai curry is my favorite. If you can't tell by my raving. So I'm quite looking forward to the delicious dinner tonight with some 8-grain rice. Love that 8-grain rice too. It's so much better than white rice or even brown rice. There's so much flavor. Mmm. Alright, I guess everything doesn't have to come together. If they're really, really close, then I'll bring them together. But it's really, really far away like this one, I'll just leave it. I'm not even sure what's going on over here. What shape is this supposed to be? If I'm gonna erase this line. Oops, that's too thick. Too much. So I've been doing all these lines with the hard round pressure size, but I think maybe I'm gonna go to my ink brush. That's a little too thick though. Come on, a little smaller. Thank you. Thank you. It's still a little bit too big. It's too hard. Maybe I will stick with this one after all. So close. Nope. Something about this shape I don't like. Blast it. Start over. Maybe I'll just leave it. I'll just leave that one line that I got rid of gone. Now, I'll figure out the rest using the color once I go back to that. Yes, I think that's the answer. Squeaky chair, you'll have to hear my squeaky chair. Alright, let's have a look at the middle area. I've got the edges done. Alright. Happy with that. Let's move on down. Oh, it's so dirty. I thought I did a good job before, but wow. Maybe I should have taken the levels adjustment farther to help clear out more of this, but I was really happy with how it looked. Ooh, it's getting really warm in here. I'm gonna take my hoodie off real quick. There. That's better. Yeah, dang, it's really fuzzy everywhere. Oops. I thought I had done a good job, a decent job with cleanup, but oh well. Just gonna move forward. You know what? It's probably because now I'm working at 200%, so I can see more. My watch wants me to take a break. I don't know if the microphone caught that little buzz. My watch buzzed me and said it's time to move. Gosh, at this point, I feel like maybe I should go through with another stroke on, but a very small one, because this is not to my satisfaction. I'm not happy with how dirty this looks. It looks dirty. Like there's dust or dirt, and it's not that easy to see, so maybe that means it's not a problem, but on the other hand, sometimes stuff that doesn't look that bad on screen, you go and print it, and you're like, ugh. I've had that happen, and I don't want it to happen again. Yeah, when I'm this zoomed in, if we just have it be 1 pixel, yeah, look at that. I know I said earlier that it was good enough, but now that I'm seeing it zoomed in, it's really bothering me, so that means it's not good enough. It's not up to my standard. Actually, this pink is awful on this gray. So I'm going to turn the gray back to white. There. Now the pink is much easier to see. I'm just going to go back to eraser. It's easier to control the pressure on the front end of the stylus. The back end has a softer nib, or whatever you'd call it. So it is harder to control the pressure. I'm definitely going to be really happy at the end when I have all this tidied up properly. I am going to send the Patreon rewards as they are. I don't think this will show up on a postcard size. It's just so small. Postcard size is, I don't even think it's a fourth. Oh, right, because it was 22%. It was only 22% size of the original. So I don't think this will show up. But for the final application of this illustration, I wanted to be printed as a book, a 11 by 17 inch book when it's open, 8.5 by 11 when it's closed, or so, give or take. So that's actually bigger than the original drawing was done, than the size the original drawing was done at. So I think it does matter for that application to get this tidied up, get it tidied up properly. Next time, hopefully I will remember to really check and make sure that this kind of thing is cleared out by the levels changes. Only 10 minutes left. When the stream's over, I'm gonna finish up those Patreon rewards while my recording uploads to YouTube. Since this week is the last week of live streaming for April, because I am vending at the Boise Spring Market, not this Saturday but next Saturday, so I need the time to prepare. I think I might try to do what Sarah suggested last week, which is a smaller, simpler illustration to serve as April Patreon rewards, because I don't want to get into a slippery slope of putting off rewards because I want this piece to be the reward for that month, because this is obviously going to take me longer than I hoped to get to the next point where I'd like to send it as a reward. So tomorrow's stream might do something different. I gotta think of what I want to do. Might just do a beautiful cherry blossom illustration. Like a little watercolor painting. I haven't done watercolor in a long time. That would be nice. Just a simple one, a small one. I don't have any print level supporters yet, so I could make it at size for postcards, which will save me time. I'll save real quick. Been a little bit since the last save. Oh, look, some even little teeny tiny specks got missed. That's incredible. Yeah, in the middle of nowhere specks, what I mean. Not like this edge dust, but just sitting right in the middle. Nothing else anywhere near it. Minutes. Can I finish this flower in 5 minutes? That's debatable. I should have just done it like this from the beginning, but I wouldn't have gotten to a point, I don't think, where I'd be happy to send it as Patreon rewards if I started out this small. So it's probably for the best that I stayed at 100% zoom for that. I came back in here after the fact to refine. That is what I wanted to do for the next step anyway, is refine the lines. So that's what we're doing. It's just not how I expected to do it. It's not the thing that I expected to want to do. But that's what makes art fun. That's what makes art making fun, is the unexpected parts. Because if it was all as expected, there wouldn't be any challenge, there wouldn't be any thrill. It would be pretty boring. The problem-solving aspect, I think, is my favorite. I love making. It's like making and solving a puzzle all at once. That's what creating a visual art piece is like for me. Oops, I erased a little bit more than I wanted there. It's incredible, these little small specks here and there that were missed before. I wonder how. Oops. No, I don't need to make a guideline. I'm going to turn these off for now. Nope, you can't. Wish you could turn it off from right there with a right click. That would be convenient. If anyone from Adobe is watching, maybe you could add that into that pop-up menu there. Working this close is pretty fun. It's like working on pixel art. So essentially that's what it is. We've got this down to a single pixel. The stroke is set at 1 pixel big. But I don't think we're gonna get this flower done. Just have to come back to it next time. Yeah. It is time. Time to call it good for today. Move my tablet up so I can finish up here. Move my tablet, my keyboard and mouse back in front of me. Let's take a look at what we accomplished today. So, got almost this whole flower cleaned up. We could really see why I want to do further cleanup, because just look at this. Oh, it's awful. Look at that. I definitely want to clean all this stuff up. So we'll keep working on this next time we work on it. But tomorrow I think I'll work on something else to be Patreon rewards for April. We also got the postcard version done. Yay! So that's it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time as always. You can check my schedule on Twitch to see when that is in your local time. Be back with a little new illustration project that will hopefully only take that stream to complete. I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.